Live. Okay. Hey, it's me again. I figured I'd knock out a couple of videos. I'm a big proponent of budget friendly gear. Okay. When I say budget friendly, cheap does not mean bad. Inexpensive gear that is amazing quality. Okay. We all know the Mora Classic. Okay. It's got a Scandi bevel. This one's carbon. It's made in Sweden. Runs you about $15 on the Amazon. Okay. It has a plastic sheath. But what's cool about these sheaths are they already come with a belt loop. But these holes, if you have a button small enough on your shirt pocket, they're meant to hang from your shirt pocket or around your neck. I named this knife Old Greg because you see it, you know it, you love it, and it doesn't play love games. This one right here is an amazing quality knife for about $12 on the Amazon, and it's prime. Now, if you go up to another Mora for about $20, and I've had these knives forever, you can see they're all beat up and old and everything. This is a Mora Companion. Same blade shape, plastic handle. It's meant to be firm when you grip it wet. Plus, it's orange. You're not going to lose this knife in the woods. For $20, the way it's different is this, so you get a little bit more robust sheath. This one, if you have overalls on, it goes on the outside of your overalls button and hangs down. Okay? Now, this knife here that we just got through talking about is about $15, $20. Same blade shape. I've beat them all to pieces. And unless you're doing something that you're being a complete jackass with, you're not going to break these knives. Okay? They are rat tail tang, so you don't baton them through a piece of log or nothing. And while we're on Mora, we'll just finish up with the Mora Eldris. Little small Scandinavian knife. That's all you need. Little pocket knife, budget friendly, $20. I've beat this one through a lot. I think I even beat this one into a concrete block. It did dull it. It dulled it like hell, but it didn't break it. And I just got it in a little ghetto ass sheath I scammed off my dad, but it works. Now, as we go on, if you get into about the $30 range, you got into the Condor. The sheath alone is worth the $30. This is their Nesmith pattern. It's 1075 high carbon steel. It is full tang. I've had these knives since going on 10 years. And the thing about this pattern is it's made for butchering. You have the slicing for the skinning. You can choke up on it. But when you go to actually gut the animal, this hump, it rides up the belly and keeps you from puncturing the stomach. Around $30. That's what it was 10 years ago. This is the one me and my wife carry. It's a Condor Bush Lore Scandinavian grind. And the thing with Scandi grinds is the best way to look at those are, if this is wood, a Scandi grind will bite into it. Okay? A convex grind will just glance off of it. And a hollow grind will just dig into it for no reason. See, all these knives all have a blade about the width of your palm, for the most part. That's all you really need. Okay. As we continue going on, we'll get into the choppers in a second. For a little bit more expensive, it fluctuates. You can get these sometimes for $40, sometimes they're $70, sometimes they're $80. It just depends on the market. I bought this one 10 years ago. I got all the wear off of it. I've beat it through a log, and it is a SE3. And I think I paid $40 for this 10 years ago. And the modifications I done to it was I took off the coating, I sharpened the back for a ferro rod, and as you can see, I've abused this knife. Essie comes with a lifetime warranty, no questions asked. I can put it in a vise, break it, and tell them I did it, and they will send me a brand new knife. No questions asked warranty. As long as they can tell it was an Essie, it's covered. When you get the knife, you do have to sharpen the back because they don't. Just like this knife, these knives are not sharpened on the back spine. Let me move my cat out of the way. She's awesome. She's my baby. But $12, $15, Cody Lundin uses this knife. $15, $20. And some knives you'll spend $100 on, you see, $200, $300 on a. If you're going to buy a $300 knife, buy 10 of these, 30 of these. You're not going to break them. And more is the standard of bushcraft. Okay, let's get into the choppers. Again, a Condor. It's called the Loch Nessmuk. This is an ungodly knife. The only way you would use this knife is if you're clearing brush. I've used it to clear brush. It's the same pattern as the Nessmuk I showed you. It's just larger. This is made for chopping and for just out in the woods beating and banging. This is what you would actually use. There is a significant size difference. Okay? So, this knife, I bought it at the same time I bought the other ones. I was just left Bell South, and I think it was $40 on Amazon. Okay. Now, another chopper is made by Ka-Bar. Ka-Bar has the Becker line. They have a lifetime warranty on them. I bought this when I was living in Asheville when me and Jessie, my wife, got back together. It's full tang, 1095 1095 CV. It's made out of the same thing the Ka-Bar fighting knives are made out of. Big knives have their place, but no one is Rambo. You're not going to go out in the woods with a knife and throw down some major pain on some people. You do, you're crazy, you're psycho. You don't need this type of knife. You don't. At the time, I was getting into survival and bushcraft, and it was big. It was a spur of the moment thing, and I used it, found out I didn't like it, started going smaller and thinner. Physics. You cannot beat physics when it comes to knives. You can't do it. A thin knife will cut better than a thick knife. For example, one of the best knives you can buy is $8, and it's no panel. Okay, this is no panel carbon. $8 knife. I've had this thing forever, and it just keeps on ticking. If I lose it, I'm out $8. I've not lost it. It's got a locking ring. And like I said, you can tell by the way this knife sounds. I've beat this knife through just about anything trying to break it. What I'm getting at is this. Do you need a $200 knife? Do you need a $100 knife? No. Any knife will do. A kitchen knife, an old hickory kitchen knife, is an amazing knife, and it's $12 on Amazon. Will you get the fit and finish of a $200 knife and a $10 knife? Probably not. Will you get the name recognition? Probably not. Will it cut? Yes. Will it do the stuff you need it to do? Yes. We are hung up on name brands. You want warranty, you want quality, and you want it for the cheapest price. Again, I would have no issue taking this knife into the woods and surviving with it. This knife. It doesn't matter. What you've got to do is get your skill set, practice at home, get a $10 knife, learn to sharpen a knife. Get a $10 knife, learn how to make shavings. If you can do it with a $10 knife, you can do it with a $500 knife. That's what it comes down to. Now, there is an argument where people say if there's no difference between someone spending $500 on a gun or a crossbow than they are on a knife. And that is true. It's all in what you like and what you spend money on and your budget. But in the long run, if you have a $1,500 Scout sniper rifle, chances are that's not your first rifle. Okay, you started with something else and you worked your way up. If you're a mechanic, you didn't start off with a complete line of snap-on tools. You got what you could afford and you replaced it as you moved forward with your skill set. That's how you have to do it. Okay? Now, I do have expensive knives. I do have knives that I've took tax returns, or my half of the tax returns, and bought. I do have knives that I've took, when I was working, I took and bought, much to the chagrin of my wife. Are they different? Little better materials, little long-lasting edge retention. That's it. The average person is not going to tell the difference between if they're cutting with a $200 knife and a $10 knife, as long as it cuts what they need to cut. So going forward, start with what you can get, replace it as you can if you want to. If you never replacement, don't be a jackass and try to beat a knife that's not meant to be beat. You'll be golden. Our grandfathers had the same knives in their pockets for 50 years, and they didn't replace it. They wore it down to a needle because they wasn't jackasses with it. That's what it comes down to. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, likes, dislikes, let me know. And even if I don't agree with your comment, I'll leave it up, as long as it's not offensive and will get me in trouble with Facebook. Other than that, keep on going on and get outside as much as you can. Thank you. How do I stop this thing?